Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly pumped you're here today. We are going to do something a little different. I'm going to step in as your personal nutritionist, and together we are going to break down the actual, literal dietary secrets to long-term scalp health. We're taking a complete, science-backed virtual grocery tour to figure out exactly how the foods we eat build, protect, and nourish our hair from the inside out. But first, let me just ask you this straight up. Are you noticing a little more hair in the drain lately? Or, maybe your hairline feels like it's slowly creeping back, or your part is looking just a tiny bit whiter? If you are, listen, you're absolutely not alone. Millions of people deal with hair loss every single year. We usually panic and immediately blame genetics. And sure, genetics totally play a role, but there is a massive, completely manageable factor that most of us entirely ignore. It's what you eat every single day. Your daily diet can literally either strengthen your hair follicles or slowly starve them. So, here is our grocery store game plan for today. We'll start with the hidden hair loss secret, walk through the proteins and healthy fats aisle, check in on the vital oxygen and repair crew, look at some really incredible budget buys, and finally, I'm going to warn you about the foods that are actively sabotaging your scalp. Let's dive right in. First up, the hidden hair loss secret, the dietary connection. We really need to completely reframe how we think about our hair. It doesn't just magically appear out of nowhere, right? It is physically constructed by your body using the raw materials you provide through your daily diet. And what exactly are those raw materials? Well, it all comes down to keratin. This is the structural protein that makes up the vast majority of your hair strands. Honestly, think of keratin as the literal bricks and mortar that build the actual hair structure. If your body doesn't get enough protein from your diet, your hair growth just slows down dramatically. Why? Because you simply don't have the building blocks available to construct new strands. Moving on to proteins and healthy fats, foundations of hair growth. Let's virtually wheel our grocery cart over to the protein and fats aisle. These are the absolute foundations, focusing on whole foods that build strength and literally stop excessive shedding in its tracks. All right, first up, eggs. They're just packed with protein, vitamin B12, and absolutely crucially, biotin. If you're low on biotin, you're looking at brittle, thinning hair, for sure. So try to get 1 to 2 whole eggs in several times a week. Next, we want to grab some salmon for those vital omega-3s. And lastly, toss some plain, low-sugar Greek yogurt into the cart. It gives you vitamin B5 to improve blood flow, plus probiotics. You need a healthy gut to actually absorb all these awesome nutrients we're talking about. Think about the battle happening right at your scalp level every day. Inflammation is a major, major cause of hair shedding. It literally chokes off the hair follicle. But the cool thing is, the omega-3s in that salmon we just bought, they act like throwing water on a fire, actively reducing that inflammation. By calming the scalp down, omega-3s improve your blood circulation, helping all those great nutrients actually reach your hair roots so much more effectively. And hey, speaking of healthy fats, we absolutely have to talk about the absolute miracle that is the avocado. Avocados are incredible at fighting oxidative stress, which, by the way, is the damage caused to your hair follicles over time by things like aging, poor diet, and just general pollution. Plus, eating avocados actually helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins from the rest of your meals way better. It's a total win-win. Because alongside those healthy fats, avocados are absolutely loaded with vitamin E. In fact, studies show that people who supplement with vitamin E actually see significant improvements in their hair growth. It improves scalp circulation and actively protects the follicle. And honestly, avocados are just one of the easiest, most delicious foods to add into your daily routine. Okay, next section, the oxygen and repair crew, vital minerals and vitamins. Let's wheel out of the protein aisle and head over to produce in the pantry to meet what I like to call the essential support staff for your hair's daily operations. So here is your literal shopping list for greens, nuts, and seeds. Spinach, absolute must-have. Then hit the bulk bins for almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds. If you're losing more hair than normal, there's a really good chance you might be lacking zinc, which plays a massive role in tissue growth and repair. Honestly, just a small daily handful of these nuts and seeds can make a night and day difference for your hair follicles. And this brilliant little analogy explains exactly why spinach is front and center on that list. One of the most common causes of hair loss, especially in women, actually, is iron deficiency. If you're constantly feeling exhausted and your hair is thinning, well, this could totally be why. Think of iron as the tiny delivery trucks running through your bloodstream. Iron helps your red blood cells carry oxygen-rich blood straight to your scalp and hair follicles. Without those delivery trucks bringing oxygen to the roots, your hair growth simply weakens. Now, let's talk sweet potatoes. They are completely packed with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is what helps your scalp produce sebum, that natural oil that keeps your hair hydrated. But remember my golden rule as your nutritionist today. Getting these nutrients naturally from whole foods is usually way better than overusing supplements. Balance really matters here. In fact, excessive synthetic vitamin A from over-supplementing can actually make hair loss worse. So stick to the sweet potatoes. Okay, so how do we actually build this into our daily lives without feeling totally overwhelmed? Here are 3 easy, practical daily routine integration hacks. 1. Toss some antioxidant and vitamin C rich berries like blueberries or strawberries into your morning smoothie or yogurt. That vitamin C is absolutely critical for producing collagen to strengthen the hair structure. 2. Just grab a handful of those zinc-rich nuts for a quick daily snack. And 3. Simply swap out your standard white potatoes for vitamin A-packed sweet potatoes at dinner. Really simple, practical changes. All right, next up, budget buys and superstars. High impact, low cost. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking right about now. Okay, this sounds amazing, but fresh salmon and huge bags of chia seeds, that gets expensive fast. But I promise you, true hair health absolutely does not require luxury spending. Take things like black beans, lentils, kidney beans, and chickpeas. Honestly, beans are the ultimate underrated hair food. They are incredibly affordable, and they give you this amazing package of plant protein, iron, zinc, and biotin all in one single go. If you are on a tight budget, loading up your cart with different varieties of beans is hands down one of the smartest, highest impact moves you can make for your hair. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have a true, undeniable superstar: oysters. I'm serious, oysters are quite literally one of the most powerful foods for hair health on the entire planet because they are one of the richest natural sources of zinc. Think of zinc as an active, hardworking construction crew down at the cellular root level. It supports hair follicle repair, oil gland function, and maintains healthy hair growth cycles. And look, even a mild zinc deficiency can trigger serious shedding. But hey, I totally get it, okay? Oysters aren't exactly everyone's favorite Tuesday night dinner. Actually, scratch that. They definitely aren't mine. So if they aren't your thing, no worries. You can keep that cellular construction crew fully staffed with these great alternatives: beef, pumpkin seeds, crab, and bringing it right back to our budget buys, lentils. Moving into our final section, foods that sabotage your scalp, the junk food aisle. All right, we've walked through all the aisles, filling our cart with these incredible nutrient powerhouses. Now we got to talk about the aisles you need to completely avoid. Let's contrast what we've learned today. Think about the nutrient-dense whole foods we've been praising: your salmon, sweet potatoes, spinach, and beans. Now compare that to the saboteurs: deep-fried foods, excess sugar, ultra-processed junk, and heavy alcohol. These processed saboteurs do the exact opposite of our whole foods. They actively spike inflammation, they trigger hormone imbalances, and they create nutrient deficiencies. Even crash diets fall into this dangerous category. Just remember, your hair is almost always a reflection of your overall bodily health. So as we wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. Which processed saboteur are you going to swap out for a hair growth superstar today? Because honestly, getting thicker, healthier hair naturally really does start with nutrition. Making just small, affordable changes in your daily diet creates major, noticeable improvements over time. I really hope you found this incredibly helpful for your next grocery run. Keep nourishing those roots and keep learning.